Hey, what's up you guys? John from Old Reading Farm here. Thanks for joining us. In today's video, we're going to go through sort of my process when it comes to building things. So we're going to talk about the planning stage and like sort of how we plan our buildings for what we're going to do. Like our chicken village that's right over there, I'm very proud of that. We did a very efficient design where we fit 6 chicken coops into one building. And, you know, just kind of thinking about all those sorts of things. So right now we're going to be building our peacock house, our peafowl house, or the pea house as it's affectionately known. So we're gonna I'm just gonna kind of talk you through my process. Right now I have a sort of vague idea of what we're gonna do. We're gonna do something very similar to the chicken coop, where it's gonna have a shed roof with a single pitch and be a pretty much a boring square, except right on the front here and have some nice French doors because we fancy. So anyway, so we're gonna start to talk about how we're gonna plan it, and let's dive right in.
I have a question.
What is your question?
So the pea house is going to be up here,
Yes.
and it's going to be French doors.
Yes.
How are we going to open those?
That's a great question. I have no idea.
Oops.
Well, we're not going to shut them in every night.
Oh, we're not?
I don't think so.
Should both doors open, or should we have one door be stationary and only one door open?
You're asking an awful lot of questions right now that I do not know the answer to.
All right, let's get back to planning.
The benefit of the French doors is that I think they have a latch so that we can lock them closed. And what I was sort of imagining was that we'd have a way to kind of open them and then have them stay open. So you know, like how Morgan Gold at Goldshaw Farm has a little stick that he puts in the ground. Like maybe we have something that's like a little loop that just hooks it so they stay open. And then
Yeah, we don't want them clanging
Right.
open and closed in the wind
Right.
because they're glass.
And it may be even something as simple as, so they have, you know, those handles that go this way. Maybe we drill a hole in the handle and we stick, you know, a piece of line through it so we can pull it open. We'll see.
Oh yeah, it's a handle like this, so you could just put a piece of string on it and pull the string and push the handle
Exactly.
down.
All right. So,
Glad we talked about that.
yes. Okay, now that Catherine's all done with her questions for now,
Let's get
we'll continue the video.
Because Rick was asking if you were going to build it like on the floor and then pick it up and set it down on there.
So my plan for that is basically that we would build the floor, that's just the frame of the floor, and then we would use the tractor to get it set up on here, and then we could build each of the walls. We would frame out each of the walls, and then same thing, we use the tractor, put it up there, and then we can raise it and, you know, secure it from there. So we wouldn't build the whole thing and then stick it up there. We would have to do it just one piece at a time. I also think we'll probably cut this down like another foot. Well, we'll need to cut it down at least this much and make it all level.
Okay.
So it's still going to be, it's going to be 8 feet tall. This thing is going to be like 20 feet in the air.
I think that's going to look so cool.
So one of the other challenges with this is that I don't know exactly how much space peacocks need, because there's really like not that much information online. If you look up how many square feet do you need in a coop per chicken, you will get thousands and thousands of responses. I couldn't find any real detailed answer, but I've seen a lot of people that have pretty standard like 8x8 houses or smaller for multiple peacocks. So I think an 8x8 will work. What do you think?
Sounds good. That sounds very sufficient.
So we're going to put our platform up here. So one of the things I want to do, well, it's like, so between these two stumpies and these two stumpies, there's like 3 feet and 4 feet. So we have like a 12 square foot of like central
Solid, yeah.
So if we do 8 feet, that means we'll have 2 feet coming off this side, 2 feet coming off that side. So I think we will need some braces, but maybe we can do the same thing we did with the posts, where we use trees and just kind of come in here. You know, I'm sort of thinking that we take a chainsaw and we can do like a bore cut into the tree so that the branch goes and like sticks right in there, and then we can take some lag bolts or lag screws and like really shore it up, because it's going to need to be super secure, especially if like we're going to be banging around and setting it up there.
Yeah, like climbing up there to clean it.
Exactly. So basically right where I'm standing, this is 8 feet right here. So that should be perfect. That should provide plenty of support. And so 8 by 8 will be 64 square feet. We're gonna have 4 peafowl in here. So that's over 10 square feet per bird. So that should be, I think that'll be sufficient.
Well, and they're going to have hundreds of square feet out
Plenty
here.
of space out here, and it's going to be 8 feet tall, so he'll have, because one of the things that I did read about is that peacocks, when they have their full train, you know, it can go like 5 feet, so you need at least 5 feet height in your coop. So we'll have 8 feet on this side, maybe 6 feet on that side. We'll put some roosting bars on the high side because they like to be up high, have his train hang down low. I think that'll be good. So these are the French doors we got. Without looking at them, they look pretty wide, so I'm going to say they're probably 32 inches. Wow. 34 and a half. So we have the frame for these up there too, which we'll have to measure for and get. So if these are, that'll be 70, so they're going to be over 6 feet wide, probably somewhere in the vicinity of 84 inches. So that means we're only going to have 6 inches on either side of the door for support.
Is that sufficient?
Well, it should be okay, because I think what we'll need is then, so one of the things when it comes to doors, and I'm actually just going to quickly.
Oh.
So one of the things when it comes to doors, or when you have any sort of big open space, is that you need to have header, which is a really thick piece of wood that basically supports all of the weight on top of it. So with the standard framing, you have a 2x4 that's on the flat side, meaning that when you're looking straight at it, this is the 1.5 inch side that you see. That doesn't provide enough up and down support, otherwise known as vertical support. So you basically take something that's much thicker than that, like a 2x6 or probably a 2x8 in this case. And then you'll have a big header. So then on the other side, on the outside of either one of these doors, we'll probably have 3 2x4s, if not more, put together to support the header. Distributed throughout the header, and then that header distributes it to the cripple studs and the outside studs, and it's all good. And that way the middle of it doesn't sag down, because these don't really have any structural integrity because they'll be open.
Sounds good.
Catherine's looking.
All right, so what you guys have just seen is us sort of talking through the planning process of the peafowl house. We've been outside showing you exactly where the house is going to be and kind of what our general ideas are. So now I'm going to pop up onto the screen the actual plans that John designed to build for the peafowl house. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so John does all his planning in Adobe Illustrator, which is a program that he has on his computer for work, so we're really lucky in that regard. These are the 4 walls. The big one here is the wall that's going to have the French doors in it. That's why there's that big open hole. And then the other 3 walls, the longer one is the back wall, and then those 2 side walls. So he makes a list of all the materials that we will need, and then we take that to our local Lowe's and give them all of our money. Okay, so that's what the plan looks like. And the next video that you guys are going to be seeing is going to be us starting to put together this peafowl house. So we're really excited to have the peafowl out of their sort of temporary housing that's made out of fence panels and into a big permanent enclosure. So thank you guys very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing. We go live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'd love to chat with you. And we put out new videos every Monday and Friday. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye!